don't tell. Yeah, I see it too. Yeah, send me to hell before y'all niggas don't tell. Yeah, slide here. Niggas can tell. I shoot a nigga if you tell. Yeah, don't tell. Don't tell. Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
We at Subslive Jubslive would like to take a moment of silence in commemoration of the life of Akira Toriyama. Welcome again to Subslive Dubslive, a comprehensive anime podcast. It's your boy Jay, aka Versace Vegeta. I'm here with my illustrious co-host D. What's poppin', dog?
What's going on, Jay? What's going on, my people? We are back at it again with another episode of Subslive Dubslive. It is great to be here.
That's right. We're here with session 36. Man,
that's a lot.
Deep in the game, man.
That's a lot.
Deep in the game, man.
That is
We're making it through. We're making it through, man. But I tell you, man, it's really, really great to be here in season 4. Had a great time last week just digging into what makes tournament arcs great. I hope y'all enjoyed the episode as well. So we had a great time just here talking about everything in terms of the best and worst of tournament arcs. Mm-hmm. But we really want to follow up this week with one of the greatest of all time. But before we get into it, my man D, how have you been? I know last week we didn't really, we just got right to work.
Yeah, we went straight to work. we was on the clock.
Yeah, we were right to work, man. But how have you been, dog? How between season recently, all of that, man?
So it was a long hiatus. I'm sorry again, fans. I am so sorry. We didn't mean to keep you that long, but throughout that time, it was really a learning period for me. I'm not gonna lie. Mm-hmm. Had some fun, had some bad days. Who doesn't? But for the most part, I learned a lot. I came to approach different things with different ways. This year, I've been trying to focus on being the best possible version of myself. So I am glad for that foresight I've gotten. Got a chance to dig into stuff that I really loved back then. Got a chance to really dig into some things that I had no participation of before. And I probably made the best decision ever. During this whole year, I've been stuck on visual novels. This is my This is my new addiction. Visual novels are so fire. I am on that front line. Y'all came the soldier. I am not gonna lie, visual novel fans. I'm on that front line. I'm going to war with y'all. Anybody ever saying it's not a game? I'm here to tell them it's a game, bro. It's a game. Dog, I've been stuck on Umineko. First of all, I'm not gonna spoil, but that shit got me stuck. If that was a drug, I wouldn't. This would be one of those
that.
Yeah, this is a hard-hitting drug. This is something that I may need to take a break from.
Wow.
But because I am so invested into the story and just everything about the cast, I am just deep in. Legitimately, when this episode ends, you're probably gonna see me playing Umineko.
I have seen the thread. I have seen the Umineko thread.
That thread, man. If y'all follow me, tap in. Yeah, if y'all ever want to see some grown man spiral, that's where you're here. I've been going through every emotion in the world. Wow. Pain, happiness, and they even shed tears, man. I never thought I was never expecting that. Number one.
Man, listen, as an old head in the game, I can say I've been familiar with Umineko since 08.
Yeah, it really is one of those things. Like,
it's been around for forever.
It's my dickheadish way of like just putting something aside.
Yo, I have the same problem.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, it's a visual novel. I'll give it a chance. And even when they made the little animated thing, the visual, like just the anime in general, like I still like, okay, Umineko, I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that name. I'm gonna put it aside. And I was like, nah, man. Like I really want to break out of that. That's a problem that I had. Like I'm very like I could say I'm open-minded with ideas and just in general with people as a whole. But like entertainment, it's really tough with me. Like I'm not gonna like, oh yeah, you like that? I'll give it a chance. But
I feel you. We only have so many hours of every single day, and we don't know how many days we got left. So you gotta be selective. Like, okay, I want to spend my time towards this thing I know I'm guaranteed to love, as opposed to like being open to like, okay, I've heard this thing is dope, but yeah, you'll put it on the back burner forever. Until the day comes where you're finally ready. So I completely get it.
Yeah, I'm a man that says that we need some DLC for the weekend because the weekend is too short. This is supposed to be your free time. This is supposed to be your relaxation. And I don't have that much time to relax on the weekends. So this is a man that complains just not having enough hours, period, to do anything. So me just having the time now to really just lock in, have fun. That was one of the best decisions I did. Umineko, I recommend y'all to play it. I like, not only do I like recommending people dope things, I like to let people experience the things that I also feel too. You hear that misery loves company. Like, no, I want y'all to feel every emotion that I felt because that's dope. If I cried, you damn right gonna cry too.
But let people know what you playing it on, man.
I am playing it on my Steam Deck. It's real easy. You go ahead. Even if you don't want to play it, people got playthroughs, even quiet playthroughs
on YouTube and stuff. Yeah.
So it's like you're part of that action. Thankfully, it's not like you got to have a controller in your hand and like it's a different experience entirely. Like, no. You can sit down, watch somebody play. If you don't want to hear them, make sure you just find a silent playthrough and then just take that upon yourself. But I recommend people play. Like I said, I am mad I didn't even get to finish the whole entirety of it, but I got through some good parts of it.
All right.
Other than that, games, I ain't gonna lie. I like video games, but sometimes the problem is, again, where like it's a lot of good stuff just dropping, but because you play one game, if it's not really that amazing, if it's not must play, oh boy, you're putting that down for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks ends up into like 3 months. Like, as a whole. Yeah. I will say that me really having the time to play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, as somebody who's really down on the remake as a whole,
talk about
because I was like, if you ever been familiar with my game, the remake, I hated that. I don't ever want to play 24 hours of Midgard ever in my life again. But Rebirth, they did that.
Especially when it only takes at most 4. When you're playing like the modern version of the original game on 3 times speed.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't take you very long to get through Midgard at all. Yeah. I would know. I just did it.
Literally, that's when I finish Umineko and I finish Higurashi. I'm going to go back to Final Fantasy VII. I'm gonna mod it up. I want to have like updated sprites.
There are really great PC mods.
Yes,
really
great mods. I'm gonna tag
like they take the voices from remake, put it in the lines that are being like it improves the graphic. Yeah. The PC mods. I wish
this remake.
This is my problem with the Steam Deck, and it's Linux. You know, because like if I could just run all my PC mods easy on Steam Deck, I would love to. But another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, Final Fantasy VII. I'm right there with you. There with you.
They did that. They did that. There was, I did notice that it was a little bit of a slog towards the end. Not the ending, towards the end. I didn't have any problem with the ending at all. In fact,
Chapter 13 runs a little long.
That's the slog. That's the slog.
Yeah. Going through the Temple of the Ancients up into. Oh my god! Okay, and it's the exact part where you're having to go through and you're doing the puzzles through the Temple of the Ancients, and you get to a part and you'll face off as a boss with Cloud. I think the lineup is Cloud. It's Cloud, Barrett, and Red.
Yeah.
And then the other lineup is Yuffie, Aerith, and Tifa, I think. Or no. It's Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa, Yuffie, Aerith, and Red. And you'll face a boss with Cloud's party, and then you'll literally see these gears start turning on the screen, and it's like several hours earlier.
Yeah.
And then you're playing as the other team, and you're doing the whole part that you just did in a different way with Cloud's team. And then you get there, and then now you're caught up. But they're separate still. So that whole little time goes back. It only happens twice. But and I've done that. So not to hijack this.
Not good.
But I also have been having my experience in the game. And I decided to do the smart man's thing of like, after I cleared on normal mode, the first thing I did on hard mode was 13.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know I'm never going to want to do that again.
Absolutely.
And then I did 14 because I was like, I know I'm never going to have to fucking deal with Sephiroth ever again.
Ever again.
And like those hard mode missions like took me forever. It took me I think like 4 days to do those 2 chapters. But no, I feel you. And that's what I mean. Like that is the experience where like the chapter 14 is awesome. All of that boss rush you're doing and everything. Yeah. It's so fucking cool. I'll play that on normal over and over again. I don't give a fuck. I couldn't be asked to do it on hard mode. Sorry. It took me like a whole day to beat Sephiroth. No, sorry.
We good, buddy.
Sorry, it literally. I remember spending a whole afternoon trying to beat Sephiroth on hard mode, and I remember I put it on Twitter. I was like, "I just cleared chapter 14. Ask me anything." Like, it's just like I will never do this shit again.
Nah, that's one of those fuck this fight. Like, literally, that's a fuck this fight.
Oh man, man. But yes, to transition. That's literally been while I've been doing my physical therapy and healing from my injury. The moment I was able to play video games again, that was it. Rebirth. It was Rebirth season. And then it was Rebirth season until it became Final Fantasy 16 DLC season. And I cleared through the Rising Tide as well as Echoes of the Fallen right after that, which I would say if you get the DLC and you haven't done the first one, you should probably do the second one first. Just because you unlock some cool shit that makes that boss in the first one a fucking breeze, boy. A breeze. The icons you get listen, Final Fantasy 16. I know everybody's like, oh, they put too much Devil May Cry on Final Fantasy. I don't give a fuck, boy. No. I love that game. I love that game for what it is. When you sit down and you accept the truth. Yeah. And you play Final Fantasy 16 and you accept it for what the fuck it is a 10 out of 10 game. I'm sorry. It's 10 out of 10 for what it is. For what it is. 10 out of 10 to me. I played through all of hard mode and loved that shit, boy. Loved it. If a Final Fantasy game makes me want to play through it again, I feel like hard mode on 16 is less of a slog because you got everything already. You ain't got to unlock shit at all. You know what I mean? Like everything is kind of like as long as you're doing your little side quests and hell, they have it to where you can skip the run back now. You know what I mean? It's super. You know what I mean? Like, God, I know. Listen, I'm the guy who enjoys schlock, but it's 10 out of 10 schlock. You know what I mean? It is a perfect Devil May Cry Final Fantasy game. Like if you accept it for what it is, it's perfect. I love it.
It's my slot and I enjoy it. I'm defending my trash.
Yeah, it's my trash, and I love it.
But Clive tough. I ain't gonna lie.
I actually asked this and nobody answered, and I was like, damn, y'all are not real Final Fantasy heads.
Nah,
but I was like, yo.
I was gonna answer you, but I was like, I really had
who is like he's at least top three.
Yeah, he's top three.
Protags.
Lightning is number one. She just broken as fuck.
Lightning, Lightning, Clive, and the Warrior of Light. Like,
yeah. I'll put Noctis in there too. Noctis is number
two. Okay. No. You know what? Noctis is number 3. Noctis. I've seen some of the shit Noctis can do.
I'm putting Terra. I'm putting my girl Terra in there too.
Oh no! Okay, yeah.
Terra's broken. She's the original broken.
Yeah,
she's the original broken Final Fantasy.
It probably goes like
it's probably Lightning,
Clive, Terra.
Then like it's a mix round. I know that.
Only because she's an Esper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Then Noctis. Then maybe Warrior Light. Then Cloud.
Yeah.
No, Zen Zidane. I gotta put Zidane over Cloud.
He's top.
I gotta put Zidane over Cloud.
Busted.
Okay, no. Listen. Okay, we gave them 8 minutes of Final Fantasy talk.
Yeah. Sorry, it's not a Final Fantasy podcast. I'm sorry.
Final Fantasy podcast. But as I can tell, if they were to give the reins of a Final Fantasy podcast for some niggas, anybody, they could throw it at us. We want to throw in Cyrus too. I know he's a ball knower too. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like some real. The Lookout team has some AD. Yeah, AD. Yeah, I know he. Oh my God, I know he knows his JRPG.
Yeah, some
we can get a whole fucking JRPG like other show. All of us. We're some real ball knowers on our team.
Hell yeah.
Real ballers. Hey, Mills, if you're listening, I'm just saying. Hey, I think the people might want it, man.
A JRPG pod. That would go hard.
Hey, you let us know, man. We ready. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Listen up, y'all. We talking about some of the greatest stuff in JRPG land to some of the greatest stuff. Man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because this week we have none other than Dragon Ball's very own 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, man. Good Lord. What an arc. What a story.
Hell yeah. This is the time we waving that Dragon Ball banner in the air. Ooh, you could envision somebody just waving a flag like a proud pirate. That's me right now with this tournament arc. Boy, the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, aka the Tenkaichi Budokai. That's my thing.
Listen, man, like we are talking about real Maka Fushigi adventure hours here, man. Okay? All right? I'm talking about episodes 134 through episode 148 of Dragon Ball, the 23rd World Tournament. This is one of the most tried and true tournament arcs of all time. And I mean, Toriyama, if he proved that he was a genius in being able to just make manga in general with Dr. Slump, he proved deciding to take this from a gag manga to a light manga was really the right way for y'all, and I knew what the fuck I was doing. I stumbled on it, but I knew what I was doing when I did.
He shitted on a lot of folks. Like he dusted some folks. I ain't gonna lie. This that lap. It's like, oh yeah, anybody who was talking about any other manga, oh yeah, Dragon Ball. Oh, gag, nah. You gotta respect. You at the end of the day, now you gotta respect them. You definitely gotta respect them. Really, the last 2 arcs, you were supposed to really respect them, but now you really it's solidified. Like, yeah, you gotta respect this dude.
I mean, even the author of Kinnikuman has gone on record to say, like, yo, look. When he got in the booth, I started sweating.
Nah, real stuff. I ain't gonna lie. this, you like, oh yeah, you take this. This is my flow because the
This is
tournament.
my bag. Yeah.
This is my bag, and I'm seeing somebody chasing my bag. I'm not gonna lie. This is
Yeah, man. I mean, you want to talk about like really just goofy martial art? Like Kinnikuman is Dragon Ball's dad, but in all sense of everything, right? But
absolutely.
These two authors were rivals, and it led to them being able to make such great work. And this is that time period where while Dragon Ball is winding down, it's not only ending one part of the story, it's kicking off everything that's about to take off next. Everything that we know Dragon Ball as now is responsible for this arc. Also the last two before it. Like we mentioned last week, right? You don't get this without the 22nd martial arts tournament, and and right behind it, the King Piccolo arc. So with that all said, it's going to be a high honor of ours, as this episode we're paying great homage to Toriyama. I mean, even Final Fantasy has its roots with Toriyama being involved with some of their side work. You know what I mean? Like, if Final Fantasy don't come without Dragon Quest, he has direct involvement in that. And then you got how much they were fans of his work. That's all shown throughout there.
Yeah.
Even with their entire coming together and working on Chrono Trigger, that really isn't, when you think about it, really isn't too off topic with who we're talking about here. So a godfather in the realm of the JRPG world, the realm of anime, martial arts, anime, gag, manga, all of that.
That's a lot of respect things that you gotta do. And you can't do a lot without saying,
a lot. You know what I mean? Squaresoft and Toriyama were synonymous in the late 90s and even early 2000s with Turtle Ball #1 and 2 and stuff like that. Right? So we really are taking this week to pay high homage and show amazing sense of honor to the GOAT in my heart, Akira Toriyama, as we cover the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai.
Hey guys! Is this a friend of yours?
No. Oolong, do you know who this is?
What?
No!
Here you are, Bulma.
How do you know who I am?
Master Roshi, I'm pleased to see you again. All of you are looking well. Yeah, Master? Uh-huh. Where are Krillin and the others? Haven't they arrived yet?
You can't be. No way.
Yeah, Goku? Oh. What? Of course it's me.
Gee, there's so much that goes on in this arc. One could even ask, where do you begin? But I feel like what you really need to do is set the tone for what this arc is and how this even comes to be, right?
Yes.
Like we sort of previewed last week, at the end of the 22nd World's Martial Arts Tournament, Krillin was murdered by one of King Piccolo's henchmen. And this led to Goku then having to go on his own revenge tour, basically, to become stronger and avenge the deaths of not only Krillin, but also Chaozu and Master Roshi in order to stop Piccolo from taking over the entire world. And Goku's greatest challenge at that point was facing off against King Piccolo. However, in Piccolo's death, he unleashed an egg from his chest and told Goku that his progeny would be back to seek revenge or his death. Goku then, knowing that he would have to face against the child of King Piccolo one day, goes to seek further strength and trains with Kami at the top of the lookout for 3 years. Over that amount of time, you have other fighters like Tien who faced off against King Piccolo as well. Yamcha, Krillin, all deciding they're going to go off and go on their own journeys as martial artists beyond the lengths of what they were taught by Master Roshi. So this is them coming on their own as martial artists for the very first time.
Yes.
And deciding, we saw how Goku was able to, save the world while, Krillin didn't really see it. They know, he knows of it, right?
Yes.
And they know that he was able to train with Korin in order to gain that sort of power. So they go and follow Goku's lead, basically, in order to get that same level of training over those next 3 years. With that all introduced, man, we've really got this package of not only Goku's growth, but our cast of just, martial artists here.
Yeah.
What are some of the greatest aspects that you saw from these characters, beginning just as we go into the 23rd World's Martial Arts Tournament?
Man, Goku gets a complete reality check prior to just in general. Like this whole, if you come off of the King Piccolo arc, and then you see the strengths, or basically the whole journey of Goku having to, just doing this heavenly training.
Yeah.
I love that aspect. Because this is not Goku's bag. He's not Goku's bag at all. But in general, I did love to see the Dragon Team, seek out their own journey. Like they've all evolved. Like realistically, if you was a 22nd tournament, the torch is being passed to them, and by this whole arc, the 23rd, everybody's like, okay, man. Enough's enough. I'm legitimately trying to come into my own as a martial artist. That's just the stuff that makes you happy. Seeing them like, they ain't over there trying to do no weak training or nothing. They ain't ready. You training with Korin, you damn for sure ready for action at this time period. So hell yeah, it's just a beauty to see the characters grow. Some of them are beating their claims. Krillin, he's belted. Man, like I said, some of the Earthling cast in general are my favorite characters in this series. So seeing them get that light, amazing. Even the anime did it. Like I'm always like, oh yeah, original adaptation guy, but the anime, Toei did a good job with them folks at all. Like they really did. So I'm just happy as a whole that we get to see that the Dragon Team aren't slouching around. They also trying to be the strongest under heaven. Like this is what we do. We don't get it twisted. Yeah, we collect Dragon Balls, we make wishes, but at the end of the day, the minute once this tournament is introduced in the story, everybody wants this goal. Nobody's slacking about it. Everybody's serious about this, and that's just the beauty of it as a whole. Like I'm just happy. Even Yamcha, even the people like throwing the trash allegations on my boy, but like even him, like in his mind, like yeah, he's a martial artist to the core. That's what I want to see out of this.
But it's true, yeah. I mean, this is, as we'll get into it, this is really one of Yamcha's last like real showings as a martial artist.
Yeah.
And even though on paper it's a jokey joke fight, incredible showing from Yamcha.
Yeah.
Couldn't have taken a more. I mean, I would say the last L he took in the 22nd was much more graceful L, just because he threw his all at Tien. But in this one, he didn't. I don't know. He didn't look too weak in this loss. Like he didn't. It didn't look. It served a great purpose.
Yamcha Yamcha over here losing to God. I can't be mad about that.
Exactly.
Like, bro, like, honestly, that's what I've always said about Yamcha. He's not it's just really the hand that he get dealt with. And he's really meant, people like to joke about, oh yeah, Vegeta's always there to showcase the enemy's really strong. That was Yamcha's role, realistically. Yamcha's always fighting the main antagonist, or just really the final boss of the arc. Yeah, realistically, he didn't fight this time, the final boss, but he's still a fucking god. Right? If you think that Goku's the strongest at the moment, realistically, number 2, Piccolo, or if it's a toss-up between the two, guy right there is Kami. Like, the guy trained Goku. What am I supposed to put him at? I don't feel bad for him at all.
Exactly.
Like, that's a loss. It shows a lot of his mistakes. That's one thing I like. If you get a loss, it's not like you just flat out got embarrassed. Like, even had Kami telling him like the mistakes that he was doing within the fight, and you see that trend that Yamcha gets a little bit overconfident. Like, he has that. Unfortunately, like, he's strong. Don't get him twisted. Strong and creative as hell. Creative as hell, especially with his techniques. But like, it's just the extremely overconfidence in general. Like, extremely being overconfident is just considered arrogant, and that will have you lose. So it's really good. This is really great stuff. Maybe
those aspects are really what makes this entire tournament, because it's so much more than just Goku versus Piccolo Jr.
Oh right, God. Everybody's coming to their own.
I would say that honestly, like, that part of the story is just that was the end to the means. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was like, okay, we know we're eventually gonna get that, but there's so much more that happens here in this arc.
Yeah,
that really just sets the tone for it being an amazing tournament, starting with even just, when Goku arrives, right? You've got, Master Roshi and Bulma and Oolong Puar all kind of sitting outside, like, waiting for all the fighters to show up, and they're all just kind of, reminiscing as they just met up for the first time in a few years themselves, right? Bulma having grown up herself, starting to look more like a young woman and things like that. And just that moment where, like, the kid's like, hey, like, can you help me with my balloon? Like, I can't reach
that
it.
That moment is so raw, dog. Oh my God.
Bulma's like, oh, I'll help you. And she, she's even a little too short to reach it. And then you just see this hand reach out, covered in like a jacket and in a sky wearing a turban. And he's like, oh, here you go. And it's the voice, It's the voice.
Yeah, it's the voice. It's the voice
a little bit deeper. What I mean?
Yeah, voice a little bit deeper, and the guy's clearly taller. Like, you ain't expect that. But you sit there, it's like, yeah, the reveal is mad. It's mad fun. It's priceless. It's a priceless Dragon Ball moment where the crew, like, we all get welcomed with Goku's return, and that's one of my favorites as a whole in general.
Extremely same here, man. Like, it's just so heartwarming seeing everybody react to Goku. Like, even Bulma was like, "Oh my God!"
Like, she, like, yeah, like,
she's like, "Oh damn!"
The seeds,
different.
The seeds for those shippers. Even Dragon Ball has shippers. Like, yeah, the seeds of that is right there. Like,
oh man, I was literally, when I was watching that, I was like, oh man, I know the Bulma Goku shippers. In that moment, they were like, finally, yes, and I was like, damn. Sorry for y'all.
Torishima, the editor for Dragon Ball, wanted that to happen, but sorry for y'all, man. Like, if Toriyama really wanted to listen to his editor, the one time that, again, the many times he does listen or is forced to listen, he definitely got to say, shippers down this one. But like, I really love. Even the Krillin seeing Goku, that moment, really, every time that makes me smile.
Oh, man.
That makes me smile.
You know what? And that's literally the next point, right? Like, you've got Goku, he signs up for the tournament, and the clock is winding down, and it's running out of time for everyone else to show up.
Like, you're there.
Yin, Chaozu, Yamcha, and Krillin just haven't shown up yet, and right when they get to a minute left, boom, they just show up.
Yeah, Goku's like, they're there.
And here they are. And Krillin goes up to Master Roshi. I'll never forget. He's like, "Hey man, see, I've got a little bit taller."
Oh man, sorry, Krillin.
Goku's like, "Hey Krillin."
Damn, Krillin.
But it was also just so heartwarming because like he jumps in and it's like this like just immediate hug and it's like they're remembering their friendship and everything, man.
Like, oh, Naoto, thank you. Like, he didn't even get a chance to, like, you finally got to thank him for listening.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I love that part. Yeah, you can't even skip over that. Like, the fact that Krillin was like, yo, thank you. And Goku's like, for what? He's like, you saved me. You brought me back to life, man. Like, I haven't had a chance to thank you. And he's like, man, don't thank me. Of course.
Yeah.
My partner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the solidified best friends, like, again, all these Z folks, like, oh yeah, Goku, Vegeta, oh yeah, Red, Super Red. No, man, Krillin's still the best friend. He's still home, man.
Yes, man.
We wouldn't have one of the greatest moments ever. So, we wouldn't have several of the greatest moments ever if it wasn't for Krillin. So,
really,
shut up.
Really, man. Don't even talk to me about how Krillin ain't. Man, listen.
Shut up.
This arc shows me like Krillin can hang, man.
Bro, like
Krillin can hang, boy.
This is the arc that solidifies a lot of people. Like, what you see is what you're gonna get. Creative guy, the guy who's finally admitted that he's already solidified this martial artist path. Overconfident, but still, I'm still with my stuff. I'm still capable. I'm just a little bit too overconfident. Yeah, it's all there. Like, all the themes and all the traits, they're there for you. It's just a final hurrah. This is solidifying who they are as a whole.
And this is literally, setting up why Dragon Ball Z is such a great series for the entire team, right? Because this is the first time you get to see everybody's strengths all played up really, really well. Leading into even just the preliminaries, right? Goku's doing his best, like, hey, yo, like, yeah, there's this dude over there, he's pretty tough. And Tien's like, Goku, like, and telling him in telepathy, he looks just like King Piccolo. And he's like, yeah, I know, but don't tell nobody else.
Don't tell nobody. Yeah, don't have nobody.
I don't want nobody worried about the Piccolo part. I know who that is. I'm gonna handle it myself.
Like he realizes that that's Piccolo Jr. But Jackie Chun, nah, that's still Jackie Chun. Why he not there?
Yeah, even Roshi was like, y'all can handle it. Y'all surpassed me.
Y'all surpassed me, bro. Shoot.
And that's another thing that's even though it's like a sort of a small moment, and it happens a couple of times throughout here, the passing of the torch that Roshi's doing throughout this tournament is really, it's not lost on me.
Absolutely. Like he's
fully
retired. No, he's fully retired. Like, this is it. When you acknowledge that you're passing the torch, you're not doing this is not. It's not Terry Funk. Wrestling. It's not
he was definitely not on some forever.
No. I've been living forever, but I am not coming back. This is not done.
Yeah,
I got no parts. You don't need me. And
that's so chill on Kame House, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here to be a fan. I'm a spectator. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't ask me to get in the ring. But yeah, everybody in the preliminary, they all showing off. Goku showing off. He does a damn light tap to Choppo and poor Choppo.
Oh, King Choppo. Man. King Choppo. The fight between Goku and King Choppo, really, for as short as it is, I loved it because you got King Choppa coming back for his lick back from the last tournament. He's like, bro, I'm a former champion. Do you know who I am? And he's coming through with his, you know what I'm saying? Really giving them that old 80s like martial arts stance. And Goku's just standing there, arms down, and he's like, are you making a mockery of this? And then the longer he sees Goku not standing, the more he just gets fear. Like, you see that giant visage of Goku just standing over him, like he's just like realizing, like, oh man, I don't have a fucking chance. And he charges in, and Goku just chops. Bam.
One chop. Chopper getting chopped is crazy. But yeah, he got humbled. But that was impressive as hell.
Man, what? Gotta also talk about. Oh, girl. Talk about she remember Goku.
Oh yeah.
She's like, Goku, do you remember me? And he's like, who are you? And she's tripping.
Yo, she's
the moment.
Nah, she got a right to be. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, of course.
But like, bro, like with Goku, we hardly recognize. I mean, you recognize the voice, but you cover on the fan. Like, but for her, for old girls, like, damn, we did not expect that to happen. I didn't.
Not at all. Especially for her to be like a full-on like martial artist the way she was.
That is one of my favorite parts.
You know, when we first saw her, she was just a little tiny princess girl. You know what I mean? Just like her dad had a Dragon Ball. That was really the only importance he had for Chi-Chi back as a little girl, right? But to see her here in the tournament, Krillin's reaction to Goku not remembering you, I thought was one of the best, man. Where he's like, wait, what was you really doing these past 3 years?
These 3 years, like everything is like, oh man, that whole interaction with just, especially those four in general, Goku, Yamcha, Krillin, and just Chi-Chi, that's a whole. That is hilarious. You're still getting the comedy.
Oh yeah,
that's hella funny. And there's a lot of changes. So sorry, but if Subs Line Dubs Line ever got it showcased around this time, it's really this year.
Man, I will say, watching it in English and watching it in Japanese is a tonal difference, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because in Japanese you get this sense of like, hey man, like we're kind of like coming to you don't know that you've got Z ahead, so it does kind of feel like it's like things are coming to an end.
It's kind of sad. Especially if you're reading the manga. Oh boy, if you're reading the manga, and as a whole, my gosh, you're not expecting, like, you're dead ass expecting the end. They threw a bone at the end of Dragon Ball, like, oh man, what's in store for these guys? And she's like, you got Iranai Baba. She's just like, oh, in the crystal ball. But like, yeah, you got that little bone bit. But like, as a whole, if you were reading this for the first time, you would think it's the end because everybody's rapping this shit. Like,
exactly.
It just like, oh yeah, there's a sequel. Like, you don't
think this is wrapping up at this point.
You don't get that feeling. Like, you really get, like, you like, nah, this is not coming back, right?
So, the introduction of Chi-Chi back to the story, asking Goku if he remembers, the promise he made to marry her, right? The entirety of the idea of, these fighters surpassing Master Roshi, or even in Tien's sense, coming to grips with like, hey, I found a new path beyond the Crane School. Like, yeah, I need to test myself as a martial artist now instead of as an assassin. And it all comes to a head when we see Chaozu in the preliminaries. And the moment his fight begins, he's just knocked out. Like, we see his eyes get big, and we see that ponytail knock him back, man. And Tao Pai coming back.
Came back. Why?
the cyborg Tao, man. I gotta say, that was a really dope addition to this arc, because we even are able to see, some of Tien's backstory in his fight against Tao Pai in the first round of the tournament, right? Yeah. It really is a great setup for how Tao at first is like, you're a traitor. It looks like you joined up with the Turtle Boys. And he's like, actually, I'm not even like a part of the Turtle School.
I don't even have the
I knew I could learn as a martial artist training with these people, instead of being an assassin, which was just this cruel and dark road that he knew he'd have to go down. Yeah. And man, talk about like being one step ahead of Tao, like that whole fight.
I classed him. Like, if Tao Pai really thought he was gonna get his leg back against Goku, he was gonna get humble like Chopper. I'm sorry.
Real talk.
Because 10 definitely smoked him.
I mean, the fact that, you know, Tao even, like, after his losing, right, immediately, like, threatens, like, yo, I'm just gonna kill you with the super Dodon Ray, you know? And it's just like, bro, no.
Yeah, no,
man,
my bro crashed out, took out the knife, like, bro. I was like, okay, top 5, you an assassin to the end. Like, this tournament shit doesn't really, like, mean much. But, like, nah, you got humble.
Real fast. Really great showing for Tien. Really establishes himself just, you know, as a great fighter. And it's something where you kind of feel like, okay, I want to see what more he has in store, just because at that point you realize the next fight in the quarterfinals is Chi-Chi and Son Goku. That, man, okay, look. Your reactions. I gotta know. What do you feel about Chi-Chi versus Goku? Because I love that moment so much.
I love that fight. I like that Chi-Chi's. She's like, people are like, oh yeah. The little girl, like, no, that's the Ox King's daughter. If Son Goku learned martial arts from Son Gohan, then why can I not respect Chi-Chi learning from Master Roshi's second pupil?
Yeah, like, exactly. And that's something I feel like gets lost.
It really does.
In their coming together. They are both, like, genealogy, like, not Goku, not literally, right?
Yeah.
Goku's the grandson, quote unquote, of Son Gohan. Mm-hmm. And Chi-Chi's the daughter of Ox King. Two people who studied under Master Roshi. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or study along, you know what I'm saying? At least in Gohan's case, you study along with him. But, like, you know, these are, it only makes sense that these two people would come together and marry, right? Like, two people who...
Yeah, they made a promise signifying then, like, okay, that's the beginning. And then, again, like, you're reassuring, like, since this is, with the tone in the especially the Japanese version, like, you're to the assumption that everybody's wrapping up. So having this fight definitely needed, and I really love, like, Chi, like, she's no slouch. She's really no slouch.
Yeah,
she made it out the preliminaries. Like, come on, girl. She's not a slouch.
I mean,
like,
to the point where, you know, if it wasn't Goku being as strong as he was, right?
Yeah.
Like, if this was like little Goku, she would have been kind of giving him a run for his money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because she was throwing them ones, but Goku's like so elegant. He's just like, you really see, like, yeah, he's on his he's on his A game, definitely.
And the fight doesn't overstay its welcome at all. Like, you know, it just that half episode that it takes up, it really feels like just cool to see, like, Goku just the whole time he's dodging Chi-Chi, like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I promised you something. And then he stops and asks Krillin, like, what's marriage?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about food.
That's that classic Toriyama, and, like, that's that classic Toriyama humor, and that shit made me chuckle. A lot. And there's a lot of differences. Japanese version, Goku acts, and then Krillin is like, oh yeah, you promised to marry, and Yamcha's just like, oh yeah, y'all gonna be husband and wife. And then in the English version, you got Krillin like, oh yeah, it's over, done.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's like, that means y'all gonna live together forever. It's over for you. Yeah.
That's like,
it has a whole different, like, tone to it, right?
Like, Krillin wants to get married. Mm-hmm. Y'all just like, oh man, like they're to a degree, like, they're jealous of Goku. And
exactly.
In the English, just like, oh yeah, over. You can't hang with us no more now.
Yeah, they're like, yuck, you've lost Goku now. You know what I mean? Whereas in the Japanese version, they're like just kind of like setting the tone for, like, damn, Goku beat us all to marriage. Well, damn,
like come on,
damn, Goku, you really got you. He really got it, man. Fuck. You know what I mean?
Krillin really wants this. Like, Krillin and Yamcha, like, that aspect of them that makes them much more human and more relatable is, like, you want that. Maybe, like, I guess 03, like, they're imagining two teenagers, like, oh man, get it, man, bro, it's over. Yeah. Like, I get it, but there's yourselves lined up. there.
Exactly. Even with just that small moment, there is those differences that shapes it up to an entirely different sort of scene, right?
Yeah.
Even with Goku, basically in Japanese agreeing. And I'll say it was a little bit more heartwarming in English.
Yeah, I did like the English.
Goku kind of had to steal what the kids say. He raised her up a little bit,
he raised her up. He really did. I was not familiar with Goku's game. He hit her with that.
He was like, sometimes my mouth gets me into trouble, and my mouth says things my brain don't understand. But thankfully, my heart knows. And I was like, Goku!
That's Roshi's student, y'all.
He said, thankfully my heart knows.
You think we ain't learned romance in the turtle school? Oh, come on, dog.
Boy, and people be like, how did Krillin get 18? Look at how
Roshi was teaching them boys the key to being men, like all the time. Thought this guy was a bird.
And you know what? No better example than Ten Shinhan gets around launch, always just like I don't know what to do. I'm awkward. Yamcha.
He got me
because he knows a little too much.
He little too much in the game. He too much. But Turtle School definitely will teach you the art of being a man. And romance coming there, man. 2 of the Turtle School proteges are some of the only married characters in the series.
The statistics are there.
If you were Turtle School, you got married or you was close. Sorry, I'm saying, you just said, Yamcha he's gonna engage his girl and Super, allegedly. So
right. I ain't seen her, but I guess
I ain't seen her, but we ain't see a lot of Yamcha's hoes. But Bulma don't care.
Let Bulma tell it. It's a lot of them.
But exactly, so I'm led to believe he had them on deck. So it was a cool moment. From just got Goku even just Chi-Chi's and she's hugging him up and Goku's just yo, why you hold? You're that's enough. Get off.
Yeah, he was hey. All this hanging on to me stuff, man. This is wild. I just found out what marriage is. What is all this?
Goku's face is killing me. He's just bro. All right, man. You can get off now. I'm this marriage gonna be real funny, dog. And
marriage is gonna be really hilarious for them the first few years.
Bulma's there, and she's they're not really planning that for the shippers out there. They're really planning those scenes,
the way
man.
Bulma reacts, she's like, oh. And it's I like that there's those moments where even Oolong's reminding you got Yamcha, right?
Yeah, she's oh yeah. Torishima was having his way. He wanted that. He really wanted that to happen. But again, if he's not gonna get that actual moment, he's gonna throw in all that. He's throwing all of that in there. Little Bulma interactions, they were really fun.
It was, man. What I really liked was the follow-up to this fight, though, with Krillin versus my junior, man. I swear, you want to talk about Krillin really showing out as a fighter? It's all right here, man. But Junior the whole time is underestimating Krillin. And I get it. It's this little tiny guy. What's he gonna do, right? But every time,
he had to cut that out immediately. He had to cut that out. He had to cut that out. He got the endurance, and he's crafty with his moves. That's why I laughed. Y'all thought I am not a petty guy. But if you wanted to see Krillin and what he would do in a scenario where he's placed on a one-on-one fight and a scale, this is what he can do. He's not a punk.
Going into the fight, he kind of admits he's kind of nervous, but he's yo, I still want to show out.
I still want to show out. That's him. That's again, if you ever wanted to know what makes these characters what and what fully established them as a character in general, leading on after this is the tournament. And this is Krillin's personality. Like, yeah, like any other human being, very human and nervous at the fact he's fighting Scott, but he still want to show out.
Hell, I'll even say from like a very basic and vapid standpoint, man. Oh man, cool fight to watch. Like just like even if you take your brain off, right? Like really entertaining fight. The entire like you get to see Krillin building himself as a fighter for what you know him as his greatest moments as a fighter in Z from here. So much to the effect that like there are literal like scenes in this fight that they kind of like reanimated and reused in the Saiyan Saga. Like Krillin doing his split beam Kamehameha, chasing Piccolo into the air. The same tactic he uses up against the Cybermen. You know what I mean? Like it's really cool seeing Krillin being strategic as a fighter.
That's who he's always been. Guy's smart as hell. Like people say like the whole idea of like Goku's a battle genius. That was Krillin's gimmick.
Yeah, that was Krillin first, for real.
That's still him. But yes, this is one of my personal favorites as a whole, because it just established a term like Krillin is not no punk. Even when he's managing to stagger around like after when the fights were wrapping up, it's like not no bitch, man.
Not at all.
He earned the respect of the guy who's literally the main antagonist of this whole arc. That's a charm in hell. Like in wrestling terms, that's good booking, bro. That was great booking. Love that.
And I'll tell you right now, the way that Krillin is even like, if we're talking about wrestling terms, like booked to face against Piccolo, man, like this is one of those really strong, like damn, like this was like Chad Gable versus Gunther.
Yeah, he's looking.
You know
really
what I'm saying?
He's looking really. He's not no slouch. You gotta respect him.
Like it was really, really good seeing them face off against each other, because even to the point of like, you know, Krillin getting that like immediate Kamehameha right off at Piccolo towards the end, and Piccolo having to rely on an after image in order to knock Krillin out. Like that just goes to show you, like, yo, no, I had to take him serious. Otherwise, it might have been over for me.
Yeah, that Super Kamehameha, I was gonna smoke it.
Like to the point to where he, you know, even Piccolo says to himself at the end, like, taking over the Earth might not be as easy as I thought it was.
Exactly.
I really, really enjoyed everything that fight brought to the table. I think it's one of Dragon Ball's greatest fights in general. Yeah, like it's up there for sure. In going to a fight that we spoke a little bit about earlier, man, Yamcha versus Shin. You know, you've got Kami taking, you know, basically like hiding in a human's body, right? And he's there at the tournament to try to stop Piccolo Jr. himself, right? He thinks that the only way he'll be able to seal him is just, you know, by using the Makaba, you know, sealing him within himself, because he doesn't see any other way of stopping King Piccolo's progeny, and who can blame him, right? The last time Piccolo was on the Earth, it led to the darkest times that they've seen on the planet thus far.
So we had a Piccolo day the last time Piccolo was moving. So like, again, I understand that, but he came in, he went on his secret agent man mission, and unfortunately Yamcha had to go against God. That is tough. Oh man, there's a lot of people not winning against the creator.
What I really thought was so interesting about it is, like, you know, even though he's taking the guise of this like little old man, you know, he's telling Yamcha in the fight, like, hey man, like, yo, thanks for letting me like fight, but like I'm willing to like make this a really serious like fight between the two of us. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't he knows that Yamcha doesn't understand that, like, yo, this is not God. I mean, so this is not this old man you're facing. This is God that's in there, right? You know, and even though he like, you know, he kind of plays goofy in the start, by the time Yamcha gets kicked, right, you know, in the ribs at that point, like he's like, okay, wait, man, like maybe I need to take this guy a little bit serious. And while you've got your gag parts of the fight,
yeah, you gotta get that.
It's something to a point to where, you know, Yamcha then starts like trying to fight back, and it's like, wait, no, like this old man's got way
this is not
more to him than it.
Yeah, it's not no regular old man. Come on, dog. Like, this. We ain't never seen this before. We saw Jackie Chun, but this guy a little bit. If this guy was all around, like he might have been the tournament winner straight. So yeah, this was a cool, and I really like the aspect of like you got Kami just like telling Yamcha like what he's doing wrong. Like, and that's the martial artist, like just as a whole, like martial arts is here. Like it's here. It's here. I love that. This is my favorite aspect of Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball as a whole, like that's my favorite aspect.
Such a cool fight between the two of them too, man, because you know, like once they decide like, okay, look, the goofy shit is over, like we kind of gotta start getting serious. It does get serious, and it gets like really like for a grounded martial arts fight in Dragon Ball, it's dope as fuck, man.
Hell yeah. Yamcha uses this Sulkidan.
Yo, Yamcha using the Sulkidan, I'm telling you, that even though like we see him use it in the Saiyan saga and like, you know, it's not so effective, right?
Yeah.
Seeing him use it in this fight here, like for that moment, you were like, "Oh shit, man! Like he might actually like get this, man." Because even Shen, he's like starts to worry because you know he has to basically like outmaneuver him. You know,
like, literally, it's a whole guided key ball. Shit is probably. I just think literally one of my favorite moments, and that's really one of my favorite attacks. Just doing the whole finger movement shit, like that's cool.
Yeah, the tracking of the blast and shit.
That's cool as hell.
Really, really dope. I agree, man. And I think this is a very underrated fight, just in the sense of like, yeah, it's not this big spectacle of, you know, feats or anything like that. But when showing off these, just Yamcha having that overconfidence as a fighter, and still sort of being like schooled and realizing like, no, like there is more for him to learn. While this does start to, this is kind of the beginning of Yamcha being seen as a jokey fighter at this point. There's still some respect in his loss.
Yeah, I just take it as in general that Yamcha is just an overconfident guy. And when you reach that certain level of strength, like it's really hard not to. Like in this series, in general, when a lot of people reach a next level of strength, they get overconfident. And usually when they get overconfident, a lot of the worst moments happen to those guys. It's just a trending moment. So I don't even look at it like it's like, oh yeah, it's a joke. Hey, no, realistically, like he just got too cocky. Like every other character, like every other character, especially some of your favorites. Yeah, that's a no-no. And martial artists, like just in general, the principle of what Roshi was trying to prevent when he was in the tournament, like, yo, I really don't want my proteges to feel like, yeah, like they're the strongest. Like, no, there's always gonna be somebody stronger than you. That's why
even though like Roshi does admit to himself at one point, like, yo, all four of them like might be like the strongest on Earth, man. Yeah. Like he admits, like, yo, like no, they've surpassed me, right? But even he knows, like, you know, that it's gonna take them facing with each other and learning from each other to surpass even the levels that they've reached.
Yeah. This is masterful storytelling, y'all. Masterful storytelling.
Especially with the semifinals, right? Because you've got the rematch of the 22nd World's Martial Arts Tournament's finals between Tien Shin Han and Goku. This is a fight that's like one of those like all-out
Six
completely,
stars.
right?
6
Yeah,
stars.
yeah, 6 stars in the Tokyo Dome, for sure, bro.
Stars. 6 stars, man. This is one of the best fights in the series, bar none. Sorry, I'm putting this over a lot of Z fights and a lot of super fights. I'm sorry. This is
this is real fighting right here, man.
This is a banger. Even playing a game in like Kakarot, like this is one of my favorite fights.
Same.
In general. Banger.
It's wild because this is the first part where you really see Goku's growth as a fighter from the past 3 years, and Tien's expecting like to be able to keep up with him at every single point, and he's realizing, okay, I kind of gotta step up too. And then the moment he does, then Goku's like, oh shit, okay, I see you've gotten a little bit more powerful as well. Looks like you've gotten really fast. So do you mind if I change my clothes right quick? And this is the first time where you see like Goku take off the weighted clothing and stuff like that, right?
Boy, that's one of the hardest. Even though it's meant to be like a funny thing, because like even tension, I'll try to pick up the I'm like, oh wow. So my man's is fighting in legitimate clothes that are heavy as shit. They're heavy as shit. This is costly.
I mean, you gotta consider like if it's 100 kilogram clothes, like he's wearing clothes, it's like adding an extra 200 pounds to him.
So, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like Goku was out there fighting quick and is like, oh, yo, you mind if I just like shed 200 pounds right quick?
Bro got like 2 tons of clothing on. Like, damn. And he's just fast as shit. But when he takes him on, like, and he starts doing a little
when he starts jumping and everything.
He does jumping and he does doing a little twirl thing. I'm like, oh man, you ain't know what you got coming, brother.
I really like the progression of this fight. We get to the point to where now like Goku's like, no, hang on, that little speed you had, I'm even quicker. And like, everybody's having trouble trying to keep up with him. Like, Piccolo's like, oh, whoa, he's pretty quick. You know what I mean? From afar. But the fight they're doing is just intense.
Yes.
10 is like, okay, you know what? At this point, I've got a sure kill move that's gonna beat you. Like there's I can only do this next move in order to beat you. And Goku's like, oh, you gonna hit me with that Kikoho again? And Tien's like, no, I'm not gonna put nobody's lives in risk. Like that's too dangerous for this. But at this point, while I've got 3 eyes on you, can't nothing stop me if I've got 12 on you.
Yeah.
He hits that after image. The multi-form rather. And by using the multi-form, you've got 4 different Tiens all fighting against Goku in the 4 corners of the ring, man. It's really, really dope seeing Goku have to, figure out how to navigate through that fight to the point to where he then, figures out Tien's weaknesses in the fight itself, using the solar flare in order to blind them because it's, so many of them looking at him and everything. And then realizing, having those 4 instead of just the 1 Tien makes him divided in power. So it was really simple for Goku to be able to beat him in the end. But it was a really great showing. And I think it just is really magnificent to see Goku one step ahead of Tien throughout this whole fight, showing like, yeah, man, like, yeah, you were the champion last time and that's dope. And like, yes, you've gotten stronger and faster too. But the training I've done up there in the heavens, nothing you can do right now is going to even touch it. And I think it really does set apart Goku from everybody else. Before we're even introduced, like everybody says, like, oh, it's once we're introduced to the Saiyans that, then suddenly there's this huge gap in power. And I want to say, like, no, like right here, they show the moment Goku's training with God. That's where it kind of gets to a different level, Yeah.
Outclassed in a minute. Man. Goku's just really on it. And it's not like that overbearing OP moment. Like, no, it's just tactical. I'm just too smart. I'm just way too smart. I'm not relying on the things that you're relying on. And in a martial artist sense, this is like it's his peak zen. Like he's relying on just like he just automatically knows. Boom. That's just quick battle sense. Just easy to adapt to everything. It's really tough. It's really tough for these guys. Goku up there, you got training with God for 3 years, man. Like it's really hard to combat. Like, sorry, corn ain't enough.
It's nuts. Just how much of a difference of that training that he got with Korin between the training that he got with God is, and I feel like the next fight even shows that further, right?
Yeah.
When you've got Piccolo versus Shin, right before the fight, Goku during Shin's fight with Yamcha basically figured out like, oh, that's God,
Yeah.
And so he has a little bit of a talk with him and is like, yo, like, why are you here? Like, I can handle Piccolo. And he basically is like, no, you can't. I'm the only person that can. And I'm going to do my best to fight him because I'm connected to this guy. You know what I mean? And that's where we sort of like get the lore established between, Piccolo and Kami being, two halves of the same being and whatnot. We also have just in the fight in and of itself, it's really like this sort of like moment between Piccolo and Kami to themselves. And I think it was really cool to have there be so much exposition in this fight.
I don't tell you. Them speaking Namekian was like some of the coolest shit ever. I'm sorry. That was like hella raw. I was what I was, like, what? What's going on?
Yeah, them speaking the alien language to each other. The little alien subtitles come on the screen and everything.
Yeah, that is raw as hell.
I thought it was dope as fuck too, man. Just a great moment in between this, as you have Piccolo basically saying like, "Look, man, old man, I'm way stronger than you. There's nothing you can do to stop me." And Kami's like, I know. That's why I'm gonna do this. And then just busts out the Bafuba. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, wow. We saw this technique and we know what it could do.
Because, Piccolo's over here threatening, like, yo, you can't kill me. You kill me, we both die and all that. And he's like, all right, bet. I'll just seal you. And Piccolo's like, oh, that's cool. I am part of the... being that made this move, right? And he just hits him with a reverse Mafuba. And then sends, Kami right out of the human's body and seals up Kami into a bottle, just thus getting himself the win in the semifinals as well, leading up to his fated showdown with Goku, man. Everything at this point really, like, it looked like it was dire straits, right? Because, like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Goku can't kill Piccolo because Kami's in his body.
Yes.
And it just really feels like Piccolo's got the entire upper hand at this point, all the way, right?
Yeah, the cards are all stacked. You're led to believe what could you possibly do? Because the ring out, the ring out.
Yeah,
the ring out ringed out. Shit.
That was really like the only hope for a win you could have had, and Piccolo will make sure that doesn't matter.
That's martial arts shit now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you think of really realistically knocking out Piccolo Jr. is gonna win and save the Earth? You kidding me?
Not at all. I mean, it's even just at the beginning of this fight that everybody starts to realize, like, wait,
yeah,
he can't just be he can't just be a member of like the Mazakuts. Like
yeah.
That's Piccolo. That's Piccolo again, ain't it?
You know what I mean? The whole crowd is
bro.
Man,
it gets scary hours for everybody throughout this fight, man. It's really dope just seeing these two, sort of like test the waters against each other. The beginning of their fight, is really, really another masterclass in fighting manga in general.
Yeah, that's a 7-star match right there, buddy.
yeah, man. Moments of yours that you thought like stood out for you.
Sure. I definitely liked when Piccolo used the giant form. I really love that. Goku's meter combination is one of the coolest things ever. Also one of my favorite techniques. I just like the fact that this was the beginning of the whole we're kind of straying away from martial arts, and we're getting, but it does not feel.
You get your first real beam clash in this fight. You know,
it's not overbearing. That's why it really stands out to me a lot. Like, you get a beam clash, it's a lot of key related fight, and like so that's a key related fight, but it's not that overbearing. I love the mix of martial arts and just flat out just using shit that's gonna probably destroy 9 out of 10 anybody besides the Dragon Team. So.
And honestly, you know, the stakes, like I said earlier, at their highest at this point, right? Because it's something where, you know, Piccolo really is giving Goku a really strong fight. There's several points in the of time in there where like people think like, oh shit, like Piccolo might have had Goku's number, you know?
Yeah.
You know, moments like when he's firing off the eye lasers at him and, you know, Goku was able to dodge, or, you know, whenever after that, Piccolo's just like, you know what, man, fuck that. I'm just going to blow this whole place up. It does that explosive demon wave, you know.
The coolest move in Dokkan ever.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All enemies clear.
If you are a Master and you love World Tournament mode in Dokkan, this is your favorite move ever.
The only move you want to see on the screen, I'll tell you that much.
Yes. What a cool ass moment.
Man, Goku does his, you know, Goku what I really like is the utility of the Kamehameha that's used in this fight too.
Yes.
You know, Goku using it to get himself in the ring, you know, we get the first time that Goku's using a super Kamehameha where everybody's like, oh my god, it's going to destroy the Earth. Real talk. This Goku versus Cell part was just them re-rocking this moment.
Yes, yeah. Low-key, nobody notices that, but yeah.
It's really cool seeing, you know, Piccolo and Goku have that, you know, blast back at each other. I feel like it was really really silly, you know, like Piccolo was like, hey, yo, nobody's gonna get brought back, and Goku's like, yeah, well, the dragon's back, fool. And it's like, Piccolo, how did you not know that?
Bro, does he know? He doesn't know.
Piccolo was like, yeah, I'm half Kami, but I don't know shit, boy.
You didn't tell him nothing. They didn't tell him nothing. Like, oh, how you ain't know that certain people that were supposed to be dead are like currently
right? Like you don't know that your dad. You don't remember your dad killing like a couple of these people that are right here. Right now,
Master Roshi right in the audience,
in the front row. I mean, Bossy Lunch stuck up some people at the front row for tickets. So she was like, hey, we ain't buying no tickets. Guns up, boy. You know what I mean? Like, she robbed some people right in the front row for tickets, man. They're standing right in front of everybody.
That shit, that's that Lord Slug. You ain't know, bro. You definitely knew now. So.
With Piccolo, you know, deciding like, hey man, like look, I'm just gonna beat your ass by getting bigger. Like that was the biggest mistake he could have made, because like you gotta remember, if you're fighting somebody who's just gonna be like, ooh, an advantage, I'm gonna take it. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, like Goku tells him, like, bro, like you're just a bigger target. Goku decides to run in him right after he gets even bigger. And Goku jumps right in his face, blasts a Kamehameha, you know, and gets
Fucking stupid.
He gets Kami right out of his stomach, bro.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Piccolo. This is what I tell y'all. Overconfidence is a theme in Dragon Ball. If you are overconfident, you're gonna get screwed, dude. You're going to get screwed. Most of the most embarrassing moments for characters happen when they are overconfident. So yes, absolutely.
No, that really is a huge, like, repeating trope in Dragon Ball. Like, whether it's a villain or a hero.
Yeah, humble yourself. Humble yourself, please. That was a disaster class moment for Piccolo Jr. Just when you thought, oh yeah, I mean, he still got it up for like he's still powerful shit, but like he most definitely did the dumbest shit he could possibly done.
And
happens to the best, dog.
I love, how in this fight, like, the characters can jump real high. They can kind of sustain themselves in the air, but they wind up floating back down. Mm-hmm. Case in point, when Piccolo and Goku rush into the air to wind up fighting against each other, like Goku winds up falling back down and uses the foot Kamehameha to charge himself back up. Again, another utilization of the move. It's just like so original, Yeah. Really, really dope scenes like that help carry the level of the fight from just being like this scrap to like, damn, Goku's a genius in battle.
Yeah, he is.
At that point, like, Goku was able to get Kami freed by throwing him over to Tien, and Piccolo's just, like, yo, man, like, the rings, the ring doesn't matter anymore, bro. Like, he just blows everything up, man. Like, the damn arena gone. You know what I mean? People having to fight, hide in a hole.
Like, trope of people blowing shit up. Starts right
there. Yeah.
Every villain is gonna fucking blow something up.
He's like, I don't like how shit's going. Fuck it. I'm just gonna blow everything up.
That really is the key to this. But it's smart, I guess. You definitely gotta be aware of your surroundings, and you definitely gotta protect yourself. It's a smart tactic.
Man, I really, really enjoy how close to the edge this fight gets. Goku rushes at him with that meteor combination, right? And you really think, like, after he flies up and then hits Piccolo with that Kamehameha, like, it's over, right? And because, you see Piccolo's like knocked out on the ground and they're like, oh shit, he's got him beat. But Kami's like, I'm still alive, bro. He is not dead. And right when the announcer counts 10, Piccolo just shoots up, bam, blast from the mouth right in Goku's shoulder, man. Like,
bro did that Undertaker shit.
For real, right? That quick get up. Goku throws everything he has at him, man. And it's just like, bro, look, like, I've gotta do my all to beat him, but he's just standing there injured to the point to where Kami has the most like boneheaded idea I've ever heard.
He said, "Kill me."
He tells Tien, "Yo, kill me. That way Piccolo will die." And Tien's like, no, I can't kill you. And he's like, no, don't worry about it, bro. You can just revive me with the Dragon Balls. Kami,
who the hell are you fooling, idiot?
It takes Goku's dumb ass to tell Tien, don't do that shit, he's bluffing. We ain't gonna have no Dragon Balls if he dies. And Kami's like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, what the fuck?
That boy, yo, Kami's an idiot. Whether or not he was bluffing and he's like, you know what, maybe you don't need a Dragon Ball if I'm dead and Piccolo's dead. Like, no, bro, no. And Goku being the one to tell him, yo, snap out of it, dude, he's lying.
Man, it was wild seeing, Piccolo just try to blast everything away again to try to win. And everyone's thinking like, yo, Goku's dead. Like, we don't see him. Like, he's just been eradicated. And Piccolo's like, yeah, beat this nigga. And no sooner than that, Goku just falls out of the side with that headbutt right to the gut, man. And knocks him out. That's it, man. Goku's world champion.
Yep.
And I mean, listen, you want to talk about building up the idea of a tournament throughout Dragon Ball. Having Goku get to the finals twice before, to then have to save the Earth while also finally winning the tournament.
7 stars, baby.
Big up to the god.
7 stars, baby.
I mean, yo, this guy right here really did it all. Goku established himself as number 1 under the sun.
Yes.
Finally.
Oh,
and I feel like he didn't even need to win a tournament in order to do that. But God, man.
Yeah, this is really, it's right there.
Talk about the strongest, dude.
It really felt like that. Like before, I didn't like last tournament. I did not feel like Tenshinhan was the strongest. It was like really a split decision. But this one is like, yeah. Now this title really means a lot, and it's justified because this dude just saved the Earth. Not like he ain't do it before, but like now this dude really just saved the Earth to get that boy 2 champs.
For real, right?
2 belt Goku in this bitch, really.
That's what I'm saying. Earth's Defender and World's Martial Arts Tournament, that's it.
Number 1.
The winner, number 1.
That boy he gave Piccolo that crazy ass, but I know that had to hurt.
Insane.
I know that had to hurt, dude.
Insane business to him, man. And I gotta say, all in all, this tournament does stand out as one that so many other authors have paid homage to in other different ways, or even we can say now, like literally the best tournament in all of Dragon Ball.
Yes.
Just based on everything that happens. While the 22nd really sets up everything and it's like one of the greatest arcs, we're talking about tournaments as a whole. This is the one.
This is for a definitive from the beginning to end. We waving that flag, baby. Number 1, Ichiban. Best Dragon Ball tournament. Best Dragon Ball tournament. And I'm not meaning just strictly Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. This is the best Dragon Ball tournament. You heard it here.
We even get the first time that Goku's like, "Hey, yo, don't kill him."
This is
fight him again. So this is what I mean when I say Funimation did a huge disservice to us all, because you watch the Vegeta saga, you watch the Saiyan saga in the beginning, and you have no context for all the actions that the characters do. So you're thinking, "Oh, this is weird. Like, why would Goku do that? Why?" But you watch this arc, and you have the context that all these fighters have gotten even stronger. They've now decided throughout the years later that they're gonna follow Goku's footsteps one more time and train under God themselves, right?
Yes.
If you watch Dragon Ball, even just the end of Dragon Ball before Z, the Dragon team looks a lot less like scrubs.
Yeah.
Going into Z.
Hell yeah. Sorry they didn't get the same membership that Goku had the first time. Like, not everybody could, but this right here, it's just the president. And honestly, that Vegeta moment, it hits way more with with Krillin, like, just say, this is not Piccolo we're talking about here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's way more.
Exactly.
It's like, realistically speaking, after what you saw what Piccolo did, and it's like, oh yeah, throughout this time, like, you could
was right. We were right to believe in Piccolo.
Yeah, but with that line hits way more different.
Exactly, because it's like, no, this is not the same kind of guy He's not talking about taking over the world. He wants to destroy everything.
Yeah,
he wants to just get these Dragon Balls, and now that we ain't got none, he's down to just blow this place up.
Yeah, so even when Vegeta,
he has no stake in this.
Yeah, even when Vegeta turned grade 8, and then Goku realizes, like, oh yeah, I've heard that I transformed before in a tournament. Oh shit, I killed my grandfather again. It doesn't hit as much if you didn't really watch if you didn't watch Dragon Ball, because you like, again,
exactly,
who the hell is Grandpa doing?
Flashbacks ain't enough.
Yeah, the flashback ain't even enough. They even give us a flashback. Toei, anything you would expect Toei to do, Toei ain't even give nobody a flashback. They just
didn't.
Threw that line in there, and it was like, oh, damn.
You know, it just happened.
if you weren't reading, sorry. This is
imagine what this is like for a manga reader, right? You know, this chapter of Goku beating Piccolo and saying like, "Hey, yo, like, you know, I'll let you fly off so that way we can fight again." And then everybody just saying like, "Yo, Maya, how you've grown?" And he's like, "Yep, really cool. I'm flying off with my wife. Bye." There's nothing after that.
If that was to end the series as a whole, although I like the little whole, China use the Basho fan thing.
Yeah.
Look, if they were to end Dragon Ball like that, that'd be a definitive ending for me.
Really would.
That hit.
Because the manga ends just like that, and then the next week, oh, this mysterious visitor from space.
Yeah, I'm like, bye. Don't feel like being a god. I want to be stuck up there. And it's Goku, and like again that trend of like, yo, he's out, done, gone. Like this is a guy who likes to make the longest of returns. He still loves his friends, but bro, he be out. He be out. Another 3. This time it's not 3 years, it's 4 years that they haven't seen this man. Like, yeah, this is all Goku. This is not something brand new. Like, this guy always takes like a good 3-year hiatus from his friends. It doesn't come back till then. So again, this raw as a whole. I'm throwing not even as a tournament, just as a whole for just Dragon Ball. It's definitely up there.
Toriyama's magnum opus, man.
Yep.
Absolutely, I stand by that, man. And it's been really great to go over and cover this. I hope that you all, if you haven't watched the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament recently, that you do take the time, soon to go through. It's a really quick watch. It really only takes a couple of hours to watch through it. It sets up a whole lot. It might even give you a better understanding for how you might view the Saiyan saga in all of Dragon Ball Z.
All of Dragon Ball Z.
Thereafter.
Everything. Everything.
Man, talk about like just the prototype right here. Like, even with there being 2 earlier arcs, like this really sets the tone of like there being higher stakes for our cast beyond there just being like one person who's kind of like killing everybody. Right? And I feel like Dragon Ball becomes an even greater series thereafter, all because of it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Really proud to have been able to cover this with you here this week, Dee.
Yeah,
and I'm just as excited to get into next week's tournament art as well, as we dive into Yu-Gi-Oh's Battle City art. And man, it's going to be a return to form for us, because subs live, dubs live, especially the dub on this one. And we're going to be covering the differences between the two when it comes to the Battle City tournament arc, all of the great moments of that arc, how it stands aside as a tournament arc for a card battle or monster capture series, and stands alone as one that can even be viewed as just a really solid shonen anime arc without it being a marketing tool. Even though it absolutely was.
It absolutely was. And I most definitely wanted those Egyptian God cards with that.
Oh man, listen, I can point out where my arm. I'm looking right in the box, the Egyptian box I have right now. The Egyptian Yu-Gi-Oh box that holds my God cards, every Yu-Gi deck throughout the anime. Yeah, listen. Yeah. Oh my god. We are. I've got the Blue Eyes White Dragon on my wall right behind me right now. We are diehard Yu-Gi-Oh fans around this bitch.
Hell yeah. If you didn't know, now you know, motherfuckers.
So get your fucking duel discs ready. Set them life points to 8,000.
Yeah. They most definitely made a bag off for meal. Where the damn
buddy. Oh my god! I'm so glad I wisened up and just started playing Yu-Gi-Oh only on video games.
Oh my gosh!
Because
wow! If Master Duel never drops,
yeah. Oh my god! Yeah, if Master Duel had been around when we were kids, fuck.
Oh man! I'd be set. I'd be perfect.
My dad would have hated me, boy.
Oh, but with these, oh man, buying a pack every day.
Oh my god!
Buying a pack every day
I would have been in trouble.
Yes.
But please believe we'll get into all that and so much more next week with the Battle City Tournament arc. So until then, always remember, subs lie, dubs lie. We don't. We never will. Y'all be easy, y'all. Peace.
I like you doing this.
Don't take it.